Warm greetings, ladies and gentlemen. We are very happy to see you again, you and your friends last night. Episode 5 of the series, year of Kevin's reburial series, True Ghost Stories, dear viewers. Now we invite you all to listen to episode 5 of this story, narrated by Dean Shadow. He said with a thoughtful pause, looking at the people of Phuong Bai village holding a funeral moving district, burying Mr. Nhem and his son, truly indeed warms the heart. Just last evening, everyone was terrified out of their wits. But today, upon hearing the news that the bodies had been taken straight away, timidly, the village elders in the village agreed to give funds for the funeral of Mr. Nhem and his son. Now it's necessary to mobilize the people of Truong Suk to help with the burial. At first, Mr. Ka thought no one would dare to come, but unexpectedly, quite a few people showed up. Thanks to that, the digging of the grave and building of the tomb went smoothly. Seeing around and not seeing Tuan anywhere, Mr. Ka asked Miss Tin, "Have you seen that boy, Tuan? He said he was going home for a bit, but he hasn't come back yet. I wonder if something happened." Miss Tin immediately replied, "I haven't seen him. When he left earlier, he was in a big hurry." Mr. Ka fell silent, suddenly remembering, "Oh no, I think he had to go to work this afternoon. This morning, I vaguely remember he only asked to take the morning off. Just take the morning off. Maybe, oh, the poor kid." This year, I cannot stop worrying about his family's situation. All things considered, Nhem's family is still somewhat lucky. At least when he died, they still had a coffin to give him a proper burial. Tuan's grandmother that year was only wrapped in mat, piece of tarpaulin. If we had been perhaps better off back then, I would have tried to rally neighbors to get her a proper coffin. Miss Tin sighed with regret as she looked out the window. "Yes, talking about the past just makes me feel so sorry for the boy. He lost his parents so young, such a hard life. All alone. That old lady back then, she had a daughter, Tuan's mother, who was famously beautiful. So many suitors from district town came to propose, but for some reason, she just wouldn't agree. She ended up with some guy. It didn't make any sense. Then they went off to trade to somewhere way out by the border and died without a trace. No one even knows if it's true or not. The story of Tu and her husband's death something, Mrs. Ngan said. They left their child and fled across the border. Across the border. Then Mr. Ka immediately replied, "Oh no." Miss Tin saying that is unfair to them. No one would joke about something like their child's death. Old Mrs. Ngan had always been someone who had always lived a moral life, even during the war. She lived alone like that. Her daughter was absolutely determined not to remarry, even though at the time people said she was a real beauty. You don't have to look far, just look at Tu. Tu was also a kind and filial person. I don't believe she would abandon her child to her elderly mother and disappear like that. But it is hard to understand why she agreed to marry a drifter who came to our village and even became a live-in son-in-law at Mr. Ngan that day. But no, the elders in village elders feeling for Mrs. Ngan's plight issued a ban. Then the young men from this village, but also from neighboring villages, would probably not have let him be. She kept glancing around, then softly asked Mr. Ka, "Uncle Ka, I remember back then, Tu's husband was Chinese, is that right? He looked kind of like those Western Chinese types and he could even speak Chinese. One time I overheard the two of them talking, as they were. I asked Tu, and she said her husband was teaching her Chinese language." Mr. Ka replied, "He's not exactly Chinese. How should I put it? Actually, Thu's husband is of Vietnamese descent. His mother is Vietnamese, born in Vietnam. But his father was indeed Chinese. Back then, I worked in administration, so when the two of them came to register their marriage, I looked their background records. He was living with Mrs. Ngan's family as son-in-law. But regardless of everything, Thu's husband is also tall, has a bright face, and very fair-skinned. Tuan the boy, his eyes look exactly like his father's when he was young. Anyway, we're standing here gossiping. Let's treat this thing. Making food first. Post-visit, everyone. We'll have something to eat." The ladies were chatting away with Mr. Ka, and Miss Tin completely forgot what she was doing. Miss Tin laughed it off, then quickly ran off to help with the kitchen work and cooking. Around 3 in the afternoon, the funeral and burial for Mr. Nhem and his son, as well as his family, who were also present, had also been, the task is now completed. As for Tuan, in the early afternoon he arrived at Phuong Bai village. The sun had set and dark clouds began to gather. Standing in front of the old kapok tree at the entrance of the village, Tuan didn't see the tea vendor anywhere. The base of the tree was completely empty. Today, the tea vendor wasn't selling and had gone in alone into the village. The road was also quite deserted. It seemed like people were afraid it was about to rain, so no one was outside. After walking further, Tuan came across a few people with bundles of po and holding shovels walking hurriedly. They were returning from working in the fields. Tuan immediately ran up and asked, "Excuse me, may I ask?" "A bit." The middle-aged man lowered his po to the ground, then said, "What is it?" "Ask quickly, it's about to rain. I still have to go home. Gather rice. Heaven and earth, rain and sun are enough to split your head. And now it's about to rain any moment." "Yes, sir, may I ask where Master Leon's house is?" "I came here once before, but now I can't remember the way." When old man heard Tuan asking about Master Leon's house, he quickly slung the hoe over his shoulder, ready to walk away, at once not forgetting to snap angrily, "Enough, enough, enough. Get out of the way. I don't know anything. If you want to find it, you should definitely go look for it yourself." Just then, the sky opened up and it started to pour. The few people walking on the road all rushed to find shelter. Tuan wanted to ask for directions, but no one was willing to stop and help. While fumbling around looking for a place to take cover from the rain, Tuan saw someone holding an umbrella walking toward him. The rain was getting heavier by the minute. Though it was only around just past 3 in the afternoon, it looked as dark as 6 in the evening. He had to take more steps till Tuan could recognize the person holding the umbrella had a figure like the daughter of the woman who runs the tea stall. It was still the same face, always looking down at the ground, holding the umbrella, as if she were half asleep. Like a curtain fluttering in water, Tuan, feeling like he was about to drown, suddenly found a lifeline. Tuan shouted loudly, "Rainwater on your face already." Smiling, he said, "Miss, you are the daughter of the tea stall lady, right? Do you remember me?" The girl held the umbrella over Tuan as they stood under a black umbrella. Only then did Tuan get a clear look at the girl's face. Her features were beautiful, with damp strands of hair softly clinging to her cheeks, speckled with raindrops that made her. Tuan felt a flutter in his chest, a gentle stirring. "My name is Huang, sir. I was asked to come here to pick you up. Please follow me." Tuan was a bit surprised when the girl said Master Leon had sent her to meet him, but thinking back to the fortune-telling session yesterday, the serpent spirit had predicted everything. Tuan was worried about complete accuracy, so this situation wasn't all that strange. Tuan nodded and replied, "Then please lead the way, Huang. The scent leads the way." The two of them shared an umbrella, walking along the path Phuong Bai. Heavy rain made villagers rush about hurrying home. As they passed by Tuan, for some reason, everyone turned to look at him, but they only glanced for a second before quickly turning away. Some had to close their eyes as they passed Tuan, running as fast as they could. Tuan blurted out, "Maybe it's because I'm not from the village, so they find me strange." The girl Huang said, "That's not it at all." Huang softly replied, "No, it's not. It's they are truly afraid of me." Who are walking in the pouring rain. Hearing the girl named Huang say that, Tuan suddenly got goosebumps. In fact, just yesterday, Tuan had already felt that there was something mysterious about the mother and daughter selling drinks. Looking up, Tuan quickly saw the red talisman stuck on the edge of the umbrella. Still there. Not only the daughter, but even the drink vendor had a similar talisman stuck on hers. The inside of her conical hat. Seeing Tuan slow down, Huang immediately asked, "What's wrong with you? Are you scared of me too?" Tuan quickly replied, "No, it's not that. I'm just actually wondering. You're so beautiful, yet everyone seems afraid of you. It seems like the locals here don't like Master Leon." Huang replied, "I really am beautiful, huh? Thank you. We need to hurry up a bit. The rain is getting heavier and heavier, more and more." Now there was no choice. Besides, whether the woman and her daughter at the tea stall were human or ghosts didn't matter to Tuan anymore. After all, this wasn't the first time Tuan had seen a ghost. Just yesterday he saw Mr. Nhem just crouching by the bridge, even though Mr. Nhem had already died that afternoon. Then there was what happened this morning at the cemetery. Tuan jumped alone into Mrs. Van's moon grave, turned over timid corpse and pulled it up by arm. If Tuan could go through things like that, definitely go through it with a beautiful Young girl like that didn't mean anything. Even if she was a ghost, the most important thing now was figuring out how to save himself and his mother. After walking for a while, they finally arrived. Turning onto a small dirt path, Tuan knew Master Leon's house was just ahead. The entire way there, Tuan didn't say a word to Phuong. As they neared where, Tuan now asked, "Today is not... Wasn't she there at the event?" Phuong immediately replied, "Yes. Today my mother is sick. She already went to Master Leon's house. Let me take you in." The gate to Master Leon's house wasn't closed. Phuong held the umbrella for Tuan all the way to the porch, just like last time. Before even seeing anyone's face, he already heard Master Leon's voice echoing from inside the house. "You're here? Come in. I've been waiting for you." Just as Tuan stepped onto the porch, Phuong awkwardly stepped out, holding clothes that were slightly damp from being splashed by rain on the way, just like yesterday. Literally. On the side, inside Master Leon's house, always cold, chilling feeling. Sitting on the wooden platform in the main room, Master Leon puffed on a cigarette, probably just as long as an arm. At that moment, Master Leon asked, "Coming all the way here in this stormy weather, there must be something going on, right?" Tuan respectfully bowed his head, quickly replied, "Master, you've been saving us since yesterday. I've been facing nothing but terrifying things. Sometimes I see the ghost of someone who died. Other times I feel like someone is walking right beside me. After you left, collapsed with an illness, couldn't open my eyes, couldn't eat or drink, couldn't move." Master Leon calmly said, "Sit down. The fact that you made it to my house means your fate hasn't run out yet, so don't worry. Yesterday I told you, once we know the illness, there will be a way to cure it. You're still young, and sometimes when I tell you things, you don't believe them until you see it with your own eyes and get scared, right? So what do you want me to help you with?" Master Leon finished speaking and took another long drag from his cigarette. Tuan reached his pocket and took a bundle of money he had saved up over the past few years. There were large bills and plenty of small ones too. Before leaving, Tuan had carefully counted it. There was a total of 420,000. That was all the money Tuan had managed to save over the years of working. Tuan didn't dare to eat well, didn't dare to spend on clothes. Also, he could one day ask to exhume his grandmother's grave. Said that from hiring a master and workers for the reburial, to paying for the coffin and materials to build the grave, all the expenses combined would cost at least 5 million jong. With the amount of money he had now, Tuan figured he would have to keep working from now until the end of the year. In 2 months, he would have enough money to build the new grave for his grandmother. But misfortunes never come alone. Before he could exhume or bury his grandmother, Tuan got caught up in bad luck and even dragged others into it. He handed over all the money to Master Leon and pleaded, "Yesterday, you told me that I needed to do a grand ritual to prevent the deadly misfortune. This is all I have. I give it all to you, Master, just hoping that you can help us get through this calamity." Looking at the money Tuan offered, Master Leon tapped his cigarette against the wooden platform. Master Leon then cleared his throat. "I accept this money from you not for my own use, but solely to help you escape death. Life is what truly matters. Money can be earned again later. Consider this as me taking your offering for the deities and officials. Please meet me in 2 days and take me to the grave in the cemetery of Phuong Bai village. At that time, I will have a way to seal the demon grave and help you resolve the disaster. That way, there will be nothing left to worry about." Tuan stammered, "We have to wait 2 whole days, Master. But I'm afraid my mother is seriously ill. She might not make it, and who knows if I'll even survive until then." Master Leon gently smiled as he tapped his cigarette and said, "Didn't you just say you didn't trust me? Yesterday I told you that if we couldn't find the way to break the curse, you'd be dead in 3 days. There are still 2 days left. You won't die just yet. I've already cast a divination for you. You have to trust me. In 2 days, take me to the grave. I'll go there myself. Know exactly what to do. When it comes to matters involving spirits and demons, it's not something you can do when you want. It must be. Today's the 5th lunar day. In 2 days, it will be the 7th. At exactly 3 a.m. on the 7th day, I will go to Phuong Bai village and wait for you at village entrance. You must come pick me up. Do not be late or off schedule. You need to prepare your altar. In a bit, I'll give you a talisman. Burn the talisman into ashes. Mix it with rainwater. Add a few grains of salt. Then have your friend drink it. If they vomit afterward, just let them. The more black liquid they throw up, the better. Get it all out. They'll naturally recover. If you follow my instructions and your friend doesn't get better, just come back here. I'll compensate you double the amount you offered. You just made an offering. Let me tell you something else. Your family has great fortune and strong faith, a spirit bearing the misfortune for you, so you haven't been struck down. That spirit is following you to help, yet it's surviving. Half dead, half dead. I ask when not in common. Is there a grave near your house, someone buried there, that has started to crack open? Hearing Master Leon's words, Tuan trembled, his hands and feet shaking. I'm sure I never told the master about burying my grandmother behind the house in the garden, yet he sits, details everything, even knows about the crack in the grave right at the incense holder. Truly, at that moment, Tuan's voice trembled. That's right, that's my grandmother's grave. Just yesterday, the grave was still perfectly fine. The grass was lush and green, but early this morning when I passed by home, I saw the grass had turned yellow and withered. The incense bowl placed on the grave was cracked, like it was about to break. Master? What does that mean, Master? Master Leon immediately continued. No wonder. Yesterday when you came here, I saw a shadowy figure stand outside gate, face hidden, waiting. That person didn't come in to my house. Although it was a spirit, it didn't have any intention of harming you, so it was your grandmother. As for the matter of the grave, he was just speculating, so don't worry. Your grandmother weakened her spirit in order to protect you, which caused the grave to dry out and the incense bowl to crack. After subduing that grave demon, I will help you perform a ritual, restoration of the... By then, everything will be fine. Now, sit here and wait. I'll go inside to get a talisman for you to take back to your friend. After saying that, Master Leon stepped down from the platform, bending and hunched over as he walked into the house. Left alone, Tuan looked around directions. The ivory, the ancestral altar, and the 5 incense burners in Master Leon's house were arranged alongside other strange items. In the 4 corners of the main hall stood 4 large jars made of dark brown terracotta. At first, Tuan thought they were wine jars, but it didn't seem so. Right. All 4 jars were the same size, each sealed with a piece of red cloth over the mouth, before being covered with a lid. While he was still looking at the jars, Tuan suddenly shivered, goosebumps rising, because it was clear that someone had just been standing behind him, breathing on the back of his neck. He turned his head to look but saw nothing. Still, startled, Tuan jumped in fright. The voice of Master Leon came from right in front of him. What's wrong? Why do you look so very pale? Tuan didn't dare say anything. Instead, he followed the gaze of Master Leon. Master Leon was looking toward 4 jars in the corner of the house. He glanced over subtly. Master Leon held the long cigarette and tapped it lightly on the wooden platform 3 times. Then Master Leon snapped, "Don't mess with my guest, please." Hearing Master Leon say that sent chills down his spine. He handed Tuan a red cloth bag, small, only the size of 2 finger joints. Master Leon immediately instructed, "Inside this is a talisman. Take it home, burn it, mix it with rainwater, add a few grains of salt, then have your friend drink it. Remember this well. On the 7th day of the lunar month, which is in 2 days, at 3 a.m., meet me at the entrance of the village. After that, take me to the grave out in the cemetery. There, I will perform a ritual to help you break free from the grave demon. Now go home. Remember, you must not tell anyone about this. If it gets out, everything will be ruined." Tuan took the talisman from Master Leon's hand, then bowed to Master Leon and left. He slipped on his sandals and walked out into the middle of the yard. Tuan glanced over at the vegetable garden that both he and Hao had wondered about yesterday, not knowing what kind of plants they were. Yesterday, those plants only had leaves, but today, all at once, they had sprouted stalks and bloomed. Each plant had only one single flower, a bright red one, like a pond full of blood-red color. Tuan even vaguely noticed that beneath each flower stalk, there were several eggshells, chicken eggshells. The rain had stopped, but the sky was still overcast. It was already past 4 in the afternoon. Tuan had a forgetfulness and couldn't remember the way. Yesterday when he went with Hao still remembered. But today, going alone, by himself. Now, on the way back, Tuan could only vaguely recall that it had been raining, so he walked without knowing which turn to take or where to veer off. He figured he'd just keep walking and ask for directions. So Tuan turned his head to look back. Behind him was a pond that separated Master Leon's house from the house of the woman who sold drinks. Standing on the other side of pond, Tuan saw daughter of the drink vendor, umbrella, toward his direction and looking at him. When Tuan turned around, she also turned her back and walked away, no longer looking. Whenever he saw the mother and daughter of the drink vendor, Tuan felt a very strange sensation and didn't dare linger around any longer. Tuan quickened his pace and turned back. This is the place I truly call home, and in the district, Fat Sao regained consciousness to the overwhelming joy of his wife and children. His eyes could see all him. His wife and children were sitting beside the bed. The first thing Sao asked his wife when he woke up was, "Where's the old man? Buried yet?" "Already?" Surprised. "The old man? Are you talking about Master Leon?" Sao gently nodded and replied, "That's right. It was the old man who saved me." "Where is he now? Didn't you see him?" Chin immediately replied, "Master Leon is sitting out in the living room having tea." "But how do you know Master Leon saved you? From the moment he arrived here, you've been unconscious, in a deep sleep though." "Ah, there was a moment. You spoke, we talked, but that wasn't really you." "Dad, how are you feeling now?" Quinn asked. Ansao looked at his daughter and smiled, said, "I'm feeling better now. You and your mom help me up quickly." "Up, I want to go out and meet Master Leon briefly." "Thank you." "Honey, help me up." Chin and her daughter helped her husband to his feet. His first steps were still unsteady, stiff, because Ansao had been bedridden for a long time. They reached the living room. At that moment, Master Leon was sitting and taking some items out of his bundle, cleaning them. When he saw the whole family, husband, wife, and children of Fat Sao saw that Sao was able to walk again, Master Leon quickly stood up. "Help him up. It's good that you're awake, but your body is still weak." "Why did you come out here?" Sao suddenly knelt down, wrapping his arms around Master Leon. Crying, Sao choked out through tears, "Thank you, Master. I was able to live again. Thanks again. Hope you accept this bow from me as a token of my gratitude." With that, Sao bowed his head to the ground before Master Leon. Chin's wife and child also hurriedly knelt, bowed to Master Leon. Master Leon helped all three of them up, Chin's family up. Master Leon gently smiled and said, "Well, now you two really like to kneel, don't you? Besides, like I said, if fate brings us together, I'll help. Since yesterday until now, your family has had food to eat and a place to sleep. That alone is thanks enough. Now stand up. Doing all this will shorten my lifespan. Stand up. Let's talk things through calmly. Let's just say I've accepted your thanks." Sitting down on the chair, Chin asked her husband the question from earlier. "But how did you know Master Leon was the one who saved us?" Sao immediately replied, "It's hard to explain. It felt like a dream, but everything felt so real. I remember at that moment I saw myself floating in midair, but the strange thing was, I saw my own body lying on the bed, eyes closed, sleeping. I just saw you and our child, and I saw Master Leon performing acupuncture on me. And then I heard Master Leon's voice calling out to me. It was like I entered my own body again. It felt like I was being born all over again." At that moment, Master Leon said, "That's perfectly understandable. That was the moment I retrieved your soul and returned it to your body. That's why during that brief period of sleep, you were able to see everything happening around you. This phenomenon is what we call the soul leaving the body after a person dies. That's why when people pass away and their soul leaves the body, they don't realize they've died. When I arrived, you were already on the brink of death. Having gone through this calamity, I just hope your family can have a different perspective on the matter of incense and offerings." He let out a sigh. "I've also explained this issue to your sister's family. I'm glad you came back. But it's not over yet. Now, I want to ask you about something before the bracelet. Do you remember 5 years ago, during a trip to the highlands to source goods for trading, did you receive a bracelet from someone maybe twice? Which bracelet are you referring to?" Mr. Sao sat and thought back to the time, 5 years ago. That was the period. Back then, Mr. Sao was a trader who specialized in collecting wild honey. After a few moments, Mr. Sao answered Master Leon's question. "Yes, Master. It was during a trip to Lao Kai. On that trip, I followed the local villagers into the forest to gather honey. I remember now, I bought a bracelet from a man named Teo. He was an experienced honey harvester. When we went on the second day in the forest, he brought the bracelet and asked me if I wanted to buy it. If I did, how much would I pay? It was a bracelet made of stone. The stones were round, black with yellow veins. They looked quite eye-catching. When I asked what kind of stone the bracelet was made of, Teo didn't know either. He just knew it was something a friend had asked him to sell. Conveniently, he asked me. At this point, Fat Chin's voice lowered. And then what happened? Did you buy the bracelet? Master Leon said. Definitely not. Bought it and brought it downstream, so it was haunted. The spirit of that soldier haunts. Where did you put that ring? Sao immediately replied, Master. What do you mean? Why are there people? Which soldier is following you? Master Leon began to recount everything. What happened while Sao was sick in the past few years? Sao heard about it, shivering, goosebumps. Then understood, got the whole story. Six immediately said, so it turns out like that. Damn it, just inside the altar. On the third floor I have a wooden box. In the box are my souvenirs, bought in the highlands after each trip. Get the goods? The bracelet is in the box. Fuck it. Go up there and get it down for me. Fatty Chin hurriedly said. Ascended to the altar room. Chin came down, holding a yellow-brown wooden box. Give. Wooden box for husband. Nine immediately excited. Open it and see. I haven't opened it yet. Brother Sao gently pry open the box. Open the box inside. There are indeed quite a few, literally in the box. Unique item Master Leon saw. There was a something black bag. Take it out and it's each other. Cat ears. Then there are silver bracelets, necklaces, neck of the people. Green below the bottom box. Mr. Sao carefully took out a bracelet. The stone is black. Each stone grain also has beautiful and intricate yellow veins. Eyes. Giving the bracelet to Master Leon, Sao said, Here, teacher. This is the bracelet I bought. Of the person named Teo. Not stolen goods or taken from the dead. Master Leon held the bracelet in his hand and looked at it carefully. Master Leon saw 3 stones nearby in the necklace named Huang Xuan Than. Leon. Master Leon nodded slightly. Head. Yes, it's this bracelet. My husband and I. Look, the beads are engraved with names of that soldier. Only for Chin and his wife. Look, 9 goosebumps because of the fruit on. The bracelet is named Huang Xuan Tan. Oh my. 9 hamlets, I said. But I didn't pay attention. I often have a habit of buying a souvenir at places I go. Buy and bring home. I put them all in the box and put them away. Do not use. That is like harming yourself. Me. Master Leon continued. This is the lake eye stone, a type of feng shui stone. People consider when you wear this stone, it will be like the talisman. Lake's eye stone is often used as amulets for warriors, soldier when going to battle. The ring is still there, engraved with the name, proving that this is a miracle, an object that has great meaning to its owner. Everything has a destiny. It seems that this matter not necessarily a curse for the wife, her husband. They say a great disaster does not kill a blessing. Report later. The cause of suffering. Happiness and pain of the past 5 years have all been explained. The next thing to do is help, fulfill people's wishes, die. Not to mention this is also a wish of a soldier who died in battle. Mr. Sao really told me everything, you know. What you need to know, you figure. Which? Six held the bracelet tightly in his hand, looked at Master Leon. Sao firmly said, Master, rest assured. Mind, my husband and I will try our best to fulfill the soldier's wish. Huang Xuanthan, after his health stabilized, decided, I will go to Laokai immediately. Chin immediately asked, but even if I go to Laokai, it won't be possible. Where did this bracelet come from? Sao whispered. Smile. I will find that person named Teo to ask. He will definitely know. Master Leon nodded. Head. Very good. Indeed, my efforts were not in vain. Useless. You and your wife keep trying. Keep the promise. Of course, this work will. Extremely difficult. I do not advise. Nothing more. Just encourage you guys, definitely. Don't give up. God never fails. People. What will be, help, like life. Helping others is also helping yourself. The couple bowed their heads in gratitude. Respectfully, salary is also late evening. Mr. Sao hopes so. Luong will stay at home for you and your wife. Had a chance to repay. But Luong refused. The Luong said as follows, our work here is done. Everything, what happens next depends on you. I stay. Tonight, tomorrow morning we will go. But I want to ask you for help, please. I don't know if you agree or not. 9 in a hurry. Answer, yes. Don't say one thing but 10 things. 100 things husband and wife also do. What's there? Please tell me. Mr. Luong now takes in handbag out something, put in heart. Hands spread out in front of the couple. 9. Master Leon smiled gently. I want to rank. Looking at Master Leon's palm, the couple saw a metallic color. Yellow, only about half the size of the little finger. Chin immediately asked softly, is it gold? Master Leon nodded. Yes, I want to. Sell this gold for travel expenses. Go? Brother Sao hesitated, looking at Master Leon's hand, and replied, Teacher, you do it. How is that different? You blame us for being ungrateful. My family is not poor. We don't have money to give for a teacher, but have to let teachers sell gold. Don't, said money. But if have to sell? If so, I am willing. Master Leon smiled. Smile. Good intentions of the couple. Understand very well. Appreciate. But my personality, it's been like that ancient times. Anything worth taking, I will pick up and deliver to your house. Just is a small matter. However, the opportunity is huge. She still has a difficult journey ahead. First, leave the money and worry about it later. Don't even think about repaying me. Our life likes to travel here today, gone tomorrow. Do not care about helping people. If you still insist on forcing me, I will have to. I kindly beg your leave. 9 knew Master Leon was a straightforward man and said, 1 is 1, 2 is 2. So husband and wife are 9, not daring to ask any more questions. Chin sighed, spit out, looked at her husband. Master Leon is like that. If you say so, then my wife and I had to listen. Now it's almost at night. All the gold shops are closed. Leave it for tomorrow. I will take you tomorrow. Now you sit here. Talk to husband and children, mother and child. Go to the kitchen to prepare dinner. Today, our family must celebrate. Queen, help in the kitchen. Mom? Queen said yes, then followed Chin to the kitchen. Upstairs, Mr. Sao sat pouring tea, chat with Master Leon. Chin is right. Master Leon is indeed like that. Go, wherever you go, be sociable and happy when you help. Who is dedicated to helping with all that I have, especially never can mention to the 2 words grace. A venerable old man with a tolerant and kind heart has become a living legend passed down in a local number. Master Leon, oh, they should refer to him as Master. Also that evening at District Town, Lam Trang Gold Shop has 2. Today, the gold shop owner named Lam stays stubborn in the production room, who was absolutely and stubbornly refusing to eat, drink. Hey, come out and eat. From morning till now, I stay in the room, don't worry. What to sell exactly? Both. Knocking on the door, but no one answered. Mrs. Trang, Mr. Lam's wife, nudged the door open, walked inside, saw her husband asleep on the desk. Mrs. Trang approached and gently shake husband. Honey, please come down to eat. Eat first. Like, sleep. For 2 days now, Mrs. Trang has seen her husband have strange manifestations. During the day only, in the office, refusing to go out. Not even bothered to eat. Kept saying, busy with work. Bringing rice up also only takes a few minutes. Peace, then put it back down. Leave it on the table quite messy. Mrs. Trang smacked her lips and sighed. Long, I don't know what I'm busy with, but I've neglected everything. Whatever you do, you have to eat. To have strength, I'm just tidying things up, Mrs. Trang saw the iron box placed by her hand. Husbands. Take the box, open it, and see what's inside. There is a gold coin. This coin belongs to Mrs. Trang. Never seen before. Mrs. Trang also. Remember my family gold shop? Never. How to make a coin like this? Hold the coin in your hand. Flip it over and over. Looking, Mrs. Trang muttered to herself. Look, like an old coin also has the word ship. I think he bragged about it the other day. Is to buy a bargain from a fool. Something Maybe it's the coin? This perhaps? No, as a gold trader holding coins. Now Mrs. Trang knew it was real gold. Suddenly Trang startled. Mr. Lam, open your eyes. Reach out and grab the wrist holding the coin. His wife. His voice was harsh. Give me the coin. Give it to me, give it back. There. Mrs. Trang quickly returned the coin. The argument continued. Again. Tram, you scared the hell out of me. I just watch, not take it from you. Oh no, come down and eat. The kids are... Wait, there. Looking at her husband's sunken dark eyes, halo. The person became very thin after only... There are 2 days. Mrs. Trang could not help but worry. Hey, he has been staying here for 2 days now at night. Not sleeping either, right? Look at him. You are about to become a ghost. Research to see what is fascinating. So, Mr. Lam carefully put the coin away in the iron box, then turned to look at his wife. A mysterious smile. Mr. Lam whispered, It's not just this one coin. Where? There are still many, many coins like that, and I will be the one to find out them and explain. Mrs. Trang felt goosebumps with her husband's laughter, smacking lips. Mrs. Trang sighed deeply. You talk nonsense. Let me do it. Know then the whole world, people. I know. Come on. Come down and eat with your mother. My child thanks Nai and her husband today. Come home for dinner too. He asked his father from afternoon to now. Time for meal. Come down and eat and meet the son. Mr. Lam stood up, walking unsteadily, followed his wife downstairs. During dinner, Lam ate everything with disgust and grimaced. Grimace, cold gut, spit out. Do for everyone. Also feel uncomfortable. Mrs. Trang at that time. This person immediately grumbled. Hey, you eat and drink. What kind? Carrying so many dishes? But every dish makes me frown as if I have eaten it. Poison. Today I made all the dishes. Do you like it? There, you want to tease me? Is that just... No? Mr. Lam bowed his head but did not speak. No problem. The daughter named Ni picked it up for her father. A piece of braised fish. Then he laughed and said, Weird, Dad. I remember my dad liked to eat fish the most. This is pot of stew, Dad. Eat it. Mom's cooking is delicious. Here, look at the piece of fish the girl put in the bowl. Mr. Lam moved back, frowned, and then looked away. Han said, Take it away. I don't eat these. The son-in-law's face is here. Mrs. Trang endured from the beginning. Meal time has come. Endurance is limited. Hit me. Bowl hard on the table. Mrs. Trang at this time immediately scolded. God, do you dislike the food I cook? Or do you have any children outside? Right? 2 days in the room. Work hard. What work? Or thinking about how to get rid of. I go. What else is left of this house? Mister, kindly speak. Go. The daughter and her husband quickly intervened. Mom, what are you doing? Mom said that. Dad must be sick, so he ate. Bitter in the mouth. Mom, calm down. Us then, someone came outside. The door. Miss Trang, Uncle Lam. What? I said. Hey. Mrs. Trang heard the voice and recognized it. The person calling is Mrs. Tuyen, the neighbor. Next door. Suppressing her anger, Mrs. Trang ran to the door, still smiled and replied, Is that you, Uncle Tuyen? Uncle? Have you eaten yet? Come in and eat. Hey! Mrs. Tuyen carried a small cot beside. In the bowl, 2 bowls of blood pudding, a little small intestine, stomach, boiled pork, with vegetables, fragrant. Waiting for Mrs. Trang to open the door, Mrs. Tuyen gave the old woman for Mrs. Moon, then smiled brightly, said, My family is also preparing to eat. No? What to hide from uncle and aunt? Today my nephew, I went to the highlands and bought a pig. Black, make some dishes. My husband and I brought them over. Give uncle aunt, catch blood pudding, eat cool calm. Mind you, clean pig, killed by hand. No, mix or add anything else. She received the package. Oh, Mrs. Moon looked at the old lady, full of everything. A little then excited. Oh, how precious. Thanks. Just in time today my husband and Ni came to visit. This dish is delicious. 2. Then Mrs. Tuyen said goodbye to Mrs. Trang and left. Mrs. The Moon now called her daughter. Ni, close the door. For me. Nai ran out to see her mother with 2 bowls of meat. Blood pudding. Nai immediately frowned. He gave it to me. Oh my gosh. My family has always eaten blood. Where is the soup? Wait for me. It seems like you are not eating either. Okay. Mrs. Trang clicked her tongue. I know that. But people give. Why not accept? Just bring it in. Eat whatever you want. Don't eat later. More spill. Mom, pull the door here so I don't get hit. Sorry. Saying that, Mrs. Trang pulled the door open. Iron then closed the main door and went to the dining table. Trang asks her son-in-law about blood pudding. Then I just saw Mr. Lam once. 2 bowls of blood pudding, one at a time. Devour. Eat and spill blood pudding. Mouth. Mrs. Moon looked at her daughter. The daughter was also surprised. Sometimes the calf came in and saw its father waiting. Seeing that, Dad ate 2 bowls of blood pudding. That watch. Mrs. Moon immediately frowned. Strange. You have been living with your father and you are still like this. Now Mom doesn't see him eating raw food. Come call. Fish dipped in lemon juice is not available. Eat, let alone blood pudding. But hey, that guy only eats 1 bowl. Leave it for Hai. A bowl. The son-in-law, Tin Hui, was in a hurry. Shake head. No, Mom, I won't eat. Me too. Cannot eat. Hey, regardless of what everyone was saying, Mr. Lam, just like that, scoop and chew noisily. In no time, 2 bowls of blood pudding flew away. Eat. Finished. Looked at Mr. Lam. His face looked happy. Wake up. Look at Mr. Lam now. Look. Smiling mouth. Teeth still have some blood. Red? Mr. Lam immediately said, This dish is delicious. Tin Mai, wait. The day. You must make me this dish, please, remember? There. I have to go to work right now. Please do not disturb me at this moment. We'll get a lot of... Village Gold. The beach is now 7 kan, dark. After running from the teacher's house, shot back, Tuan panted standing outside Mrs. Howe's gate. The house is still there. The light was on. Tuan immediately called out, Uncle Howe. Called a second time. From inside the house, Howe walked out, holding up his slippers and walking away. Mrs. Howe replied, Tuan must be... No, wait a minute. She opened the gate and arrived. Then Mrs. Howe asked, Where are you going that you are breathing like a cow, huh? Look at your face. Sweating. The god immediately replied, Uncle, how is Howe? Are you feeling better, Grandma? Howe shook his head, sighed and replied, Still the same, my dear. I rented a cyclo to wait for him to get sick. Commune health station, but people do not examine. What disease? Tell them to bring it home. Maybe tomorrow, go to the district hospital. He just kept on going, groaning and refusing to eat or drink. Nothing. Sometimes cold as ice, sometimes hot as fire again. Uncle works far away. Only mother and child, but little Nguyen, still young this afternoon. I must ask the cyclo driver. It took a long time to get him into the car. The village is next to Mr. Nam's funeral. Can't call anyone. I don't know about tomorrow. Come on in, child. The god replied, Uncle. Oh, I just went to Quang Hia village. Okay, let me try it. Can you help how? The uncle and nephew went into the house. God took out a tiny red bag. Inside was roll up a talisman. Mrs. Howe was immediately confused. What is this? Tuan asked immediately. Answer, it's a charm, uncle. How has it? When is not a common illness? No, it's haunted, sir, the teacher said. This talisman says so. Now go. Get me a glass of rainwater, a little coarse salt, a small bowl and a basin. Again, bring it up here. It's evening, in the village too. Just happened all scary things. Come on. Is a grave in a sinking land, then Nhut fell dead below. The moon grave was dug by Mrs. Van's house. Then came Mr. Nhem, the boy's father. Timid also died suddenly. Ivory by the bridge, across the ditch. Hypothesis says how. Possibility of being haunted. Therefore the seeker make Mrs. Howe think again, right? Take what medicine? Also not better. Go to the doctor, also do not know. Because it just lay there groaning like it's a dying person. It is also a way to try. Mrs. Howe ran to get rainwater together. Coarse salt. Bring it up to Tuan. When he got there, Tuan threw away the amulet and burned it into ashes. Then Tuan poured rainwater into add a few grains of salt and stir. Howe saw that and asked, You intend to what to do? The god held a bowl of black water and walked forward towards Howe's bed. Tuan immediately said, Give Howe some medicine. Sir, the teacher said just give it some medicine. This water, or with ash leaves, will make it healthy. Again, but what if? What if? Where? Drink it? Extract it? Then what? Mrs. Howe, confused. Tuan was also scared, but the teacher has been instructed as such. Furthermore, what the teacher, all the predictions are correct. Not believing the teacher is death. Just leave how there is not right way. Thinking so, Tuan immediately reassured Mrs. Howe. It's just water mixed with ash anyway. Oh, I literally can't die, sir. Still used in the kitchen, can replace salt. Uncle, help me. Pry its mouth open too. I poured the magic water in. Both worried and scared. For some reason, Mrs. Howe just do exactly what Tuan says. The queen opened Howe's mouth. The god gave Howe a drink. The water just mixed. Drink the whole bowl of water. 2. Uncle and nephew waited. About a minute passed. Still no sign of anything. Mrs. Howe at this one asks, does it really work? Tuan, I'm very worried. Tuan was also nervous. Here. This is the first time Tuan has done this. Confused, not knowing what to do. On the bed, Howe suddenly had a seizure. Jerk. Howe's whole body clenched, as if so jerk, bang. Eyes wide open but upside down, wholeheartedly white. The bed shook. After every time Howe struggled like a passive person. Horror. Mrs. Howe turned pale. Every time she looked, saw his son suddenly disappear. Move. Even worse than the before. Something is rising up to the neck, throat, then brought into the mouth, causing both cheeks of the puffed up. Remember what the monk said. After drinking, if you give him the talisman, he will vomit it out. Tuan took it. The basin is placed right next to the bed. Running, came to help Howe's people. Howe vomited. Vomit out water. 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 Black as coal. Just like that, pouring out all. Rushed, to the horror of Mrs. Howe. All day, Howe did not eat or drink today. Just now. This is only drink half a bowl of water, then no. Understand the black, smelly water that hot vomit coming out of nowhere. Mrs. Howe at this time cried out, oh my child, what's wrong with you? Howe, my son, don't scare me. God, what did you do to my son? Huh? Mrs. Howe screamed in the wilderness. Howe continued to vomit. Finn was still feeling better. Howe, he held his hand and patted his back. Help Howe vomit easier. That said, at this time, come on, throw it all up. God said, just throw it up. It's all gone and you'll be fine. Go ahead and throw up, Howe. That's it. But after a while of struggling, Howe also vomited half a basin of black water, whole body sweating, stinks like a bath. Looking closely, Howe's face got better. Body gradually stabilized again. Howe slowly opened his eyes, looking dreamily, seeing people. Tuan was supporting him. Howe immediately whispered, Tuan, oh, where exactly am I? I opened my eyes and can talk, Mrs. Howe. Ran over happily, tears in her eyes. Mrs. Howe called her son. Howe, it's Mom. Can you see me? How do you look? I woke up lightly. Okay? Howe saw Mrs. Howe. Only then did he decide to. I think I'm at home. God bless Howe. Sat up, leaning against the headboard. Tuan said, you are at home. Where else? You are in a coma since last night until now. Woke up temporarily. Time to rest. Feel better then talk. Story continues. I'm afraid if I tell it now, maybe he lost his soul and fell ill again. And then miserable. Howe smelled a rotten smell somewhere. Very close. Turn your head to look down. Smell the smell. The stench emanated from the black water basin, placed on the floor. Howe frowned at this time. What is it? Why is the water in the basin black like that? Is this the water here? Tuan immediately replied, there you are. He just threw up a whole bowl. There is Mrs. Howe witnessing, cannot be again. Call me lying. But thanks to vomiting like that, he just woke up. I will pour it out later. Just give... Getting out of bed, Tuan felt a bit dizzy. Face. Suddenly pushed up, bang. Tuan just remembered all day today only have 2 tubers, potatoes to fill the stomach. Meanwhile, have to go dig. District ordered Mr. Nhem removed and forced to resign. Chrysanthemum went to Phuong Bai village, then returned. Too worried and scared that Tuan forgot about hunger. Old. Now there is a little pressure. Tuanti, I'm really weak. Mrs. Howe now asked quickly, Tuan, you haven't eaten yet, right? No? Tuan shyly nodded and replied, yes. Yes, sir. I haven't eaten anything since this morning. You have to dump this pot. Okay, uncle. Clean up rice for the children to eat. The family has children. Well, I don't know what to do, so... I'm sorry, Mrs. Howe said to Tuan. Tuan immediately smiled and replied, no, nothing. Where? Then you have rice. Can I have a bowl? Thank you. Pour the pot of black, smelly water into the drain. Sua Tuan went back into house and sat by bed. How? At this time, Howe asked, hey, what did you say just now? What the hell? Also, I threw up that thing. Really? Tuan immediately clicked his tongue. Oh, or maybe there is. Let's talk about it tomorrow. It's dark now. Howe now insisted, no, please tell me what happened. Go. I'm too tired to wait until tomorrow. God, now it's right out, replied. Then tell me, you are sick because of ghosts. Come. Yesterday, remember our goodbye. Returning from Phuong Bai, I saw Mr. Nhem sitting there by the bridge crying out Nhut's name. No? How clicked his tongue at this moment. Remember? Before and after. No, oh my God. He was holding a whole bunch of incense. Hit my hand. It hurt like hell. Look, I'm so angry, but it's okay. Okay, Hao said while holding his arm. Yesterday I got burned. I went up to show Tuan. But in front of Hao's eyes, the arm, not a single burn. Hao at that time. This person was immediately surprised. Oh, why is that? Where is it? Okay, yesterday I suddenly had a lot of pain. Both the bunch of incense, nothing much. Why is it smooth now? As if nothing happened? Hey, Hao even thought he had used the wrong hand. He raised his other hand, but still couldn't find a single burn mark. At that moment, Tuan just continued. No need to look, because the person we met by the bridge wasn't Mr. Nhem. Hao immediately smirked. Come on, if it wasn't him, then who was it? Only he could heal so quickly and not leave any scars. Are you trying to scare me again? Tan's face turned serious, his eyes lowered. Tuan replied, that was Mr. Nhem's ghost. We met him late at night, but Mr. Nhem had already died earlier that evening. It was only this morning that I was the one who brought Nhut's body up from the grave. To Mrs. Van's house, it was me and the villagers who dug the graves for Mr. Nhem and his son on the plot of land behind his house. How? I wasn't planning to say this, but because Mr. Nhem, both of us is being haunted. That seems to be... Right at that moment, from somewhere outside, came the sound of an owl hooting in bursts, so mournfully that both Tuan and Hao were terrified. Their skin crawled, hair stood on end, and their bodies trembled with fear. People say that owls are birds that bring bad luck. Whenever an owl hoots, it is clearly a sign that someone is about to die. Still shivering from the owl's call, both young men then heard the sound of slippers dragging across the floor, coming in from outside. Mrs. Hao was carrying a tray of food and placed it on the wooden platform near the house. As she rolled up her sleeves, Mrs. Hao said, where did that owl come from? Hooting eerily. Like that? Tuan, come eat, please. We left it out on the porch so it would be cooler. How? You should have some porridge too. Let me get it for you. Tuan responded and headed out to the porch. Hao quickly slipped on his slippers and followed, not wanting to stay alone in the bed. Hao quickly said, it's okay, I'll have rice. I don't need to eat. Porridge, please, Mom. I'll eat with Tuan. Tuan stepped out on the porch, ready to eat. Mrs. Hao gently pulled Hao's hand. Hao immediately asked, Mom, did Mr. Nhem die yesterday evening? Mrs. Hao immediately nodded and replied, that's right. But how did you know? You and that Tuan boy returned late, came home late. As soon as you got back, you just collapsed into bed all day. Today you've been sick. Couldn't even open your eyes because of you. Couldn't attend Mr. Nhem's son's funeral. Tomorrow, if there's anything, you and I will go over there. Light incense Mr. Nhem and his son. Will see how the money. I will follow whatever you contribute. No. Alright? Now please come eat. Come eat, Hao muttered as he walked. So it's true. It really was Mr. Nhem's ghost. Mrs. Hao couldn't hear clearly, so she asked, what are you mumbling about, son? Hao immediately turned around and said to his mother, forget it, Mom. Tomorrow you go. Light incense by yourself. I'm not going. I'm really sick. Hao had always been afraid of ghosts. The night before, out of curiosity, he had followed the villagers to the cemetery to see the body of Nhut, who had died beneath Mrs. Van's grave. Normally, even if someone offered him gold, Hao wouldn't dare go alone to a deserted place, let alone a cemetery at night. If he had to go, he needed someone to go with him before he would dare to go. While they were sitting down to eat, Mrs. Hao suddenly asked Tuan, hey Tuan, earlier when you came here, you said Hao was sick as he was possessed a ghost. She had been wondering about it for a while now. Tan and Hao exchanged glances, looking a bit uneasy. Neither of them wanted to make Mrs. Hao worry, then had to quickly come up with an excuse. Well, it's because yesterday afternoon, Hao went out to the cemetery to see Nhut's body down in the grave. Mrs. Hao immediately clicked her tongue and said, how could that be? Plenty of people from the whole village went to see it. And if it's like you said then, this morning, I even heard that you went along with him. Mr. Ka and a few others went out there and dragged the body. What about that? Why is it only Hao who's being haunted? What does it mean that Hao is possessed? I've picked up experience visiting the shaman, fortune telling. Tuan quickly replied, It's because of the devil. Must be compatible with the spirit haunted. You can't be so sure it's all about how either, auntie. Where is Shai? The elders in the village also said there's a sunken, cracked grave, heavy negative energy. Hao has always been spiritually weak since he was a child, so it's understandable that he would be haunted. Hearing Tuan's explanation, which seemed reasonable, Mrs. Hao nodded thoughtfully and turned to speak to her son. See, how many times have I told you? If you're spiritually weak, then don't go wandering around at night, hunting frogs, or catching eels, or sneaking around graveyards. From now on, don't go, you hear me, son? It's lucky that Tuan found a master to help, otherwise who knows what could have happened, she said, thankful to Tuan. Tuan nodded, feeling both pleased and embarrassed. Mrs. Hao had no idea what was really going on. Everything had actually started with Tuan. Thinking back now, if only the night before, Tuan listened to Hao not gone frog hunting in graveyard, things wouldn't have turned out this way. Mrs. Hao stood up. Go inside the house. Then she told the two of them to go ahead and eat. Go ahead. After eating, Tuan, help me set up the stopper for the water tank so I can wash up for little Nguyen and hang the mosquito net for him to sleep. Hao quickly asked, Mom, can Tuan stay over? Tuan, sleep here with me? Tuan was immediately bewildered. No way. I still have to go home. I stayed at Uncle Car's last night. I'm dirty and not showered yet. Tomorrow morning, I still have to go to work. Hearing that, Hao said, Hey, don't worry. There are plenty of people here. You can shower here and wear my clothes. Just stay and sleep with me for one night. Tomorrow, I'll ride my bike and take you to the brick factory. There's nothing to do if you go home now. You know. Mrs. Hao nodded. Hao is right. You should stay here tonight. It'll help little Hao feel less scared. If you go home, you'll just be alone. Mr. Carr said that the whole village stays in at night. No one goes out to work. Just take the bicycle and you can ride it. Stay here. And you promised me you'd give me a ride to work, Hao pleaded. Tuan agreed, thinking that lying alone at home right now, saying he wouldn't be scared would be a lie. It's better to have some company around. After Mrs. Hao went inside, Hao lowered his voice. Mom, I said it was the snake master, right? Let's go over there and ask him to save me. Than softly replied, Yeah, you and I have been best friends. Where we go, we're always together. You getting haunted is partly my fault. I'm not hiding. I took my savings to build a grave for my mother gave the snake master already. In 2 days, he will. As he was speaking, Tuan suddenly stopped. He hurriedly recalled the snake master's warning. Unless demon slayers must not be found out. Tuan sighed deeply at that moment. Forget it. It's enough that you know. Fortunately, the master gave me a talisman to save you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to either. Looking at Mrs. Hao, Hao didn't want to ask any more questions as he was already scared enough. But then he recalled that made him chuckle. Hey, when you came over today, did you see the mother and daughter who run the drink stand? Tuan knew that Hao was asking about the daughter of the woman who sold drinks. Tuan immediately replied, I did, yeah, but I only met her daughter. Her mother was sick, so she didn't open the stall today. But why? Hao clicked his tongue. No reason. Just asking for fun, so just playing. How is her daughter? What do you mean? Come on, General, like, long time ago, right? I know her name. Already. Hao's eyes widened. What's her name? Tell me. Of course I know, since I'm your best friend. And I found you like the daughter of the drink vendor since yesterday. Then went on to tell Hao. This afternoon, I met the daughter of the drink vendor. And here's how it happened. Hao exclaimed excitedly. Her name is Huang. She's so beautiful. Even her name sounds fragrant. Then continued. But let me just tell you. The family run the drink stall aren't quite normal. Hao immediately furrowed his brows. There you go again. Now that you mention it, I remember. Yesterday on the way back, you said the same thing. I didn't notice anything unusual. Truly, Huang is just too beautiful, gentle, and delicate. Compared to her fierce mother, that's all. But with a daughter that pretty, if she weren't a little fierce, how could she manage to get close to Huang now, right? I was smitten at first sight. You were surprised. How could someone be so beautiful? I don't even know. She's so beautiful, I'm afraid. Afraid Huang's father and son think she would beat them for real. Then immediately nodded. No, not at all. The village square next to Phuong Bai, they're really afraid of the mother and daughter who run the tea stall, the snake charmer. When I asked for directions to the house of the snake charmer, they even scolded me and hurried away. When I was walking with Huang, I noticed that anyone passing by would quickly avoid us. Not even dare to look at me with Huang, with your own mouth, that the villagers were afraid of her. There's no way that's true. You must be mistaken. Someone that beautiful. If they're afraid, it must be of a ghost. Then people would be scared. As he was speaking, Hao suddenly started trembling, shivering. The two young men looked at each other and swallowed hard. Hao then stammered, "Could it be that Huang is a ghost?" Tuan didn't dare nod. He only softly replied, "Whether she's a ghost or not, I don't know. But there's one thing I saw on Huang and her mother." What? What is it?" Hao asked, eyes wide open. Tuan whispered. Tuan immediately answered. Inside the brim of the vendor lady's hat, and in Huang's umbrella, a talisman was pasted. "Yesterday, I just told you that the two of them, even when it wasn't sunny, they used an umbrella, wore a hat. It seems like they had to cover themselves because they were afraid of sunlight. Think about it. Why would normal people paste talismans and show such strange behaviors?" The more he listened, the more Hao got goosebumps. Outside, the sky was pitch black. The sound of the bell creaked eerily. The insects chirped noisily, loudly. Hao sat there dazed, his face blank, his mouth stammered. "Huang is really a ghost?" Right at that moment, a hand touched Hao's shoulder from behind. Who's the ghost?" "Oh my God, a ghost!" Hao screamed at the top of his lungs while jumping off the wooden bed on the dirt floor in a state of panic. Uncle! Although Hao had already seen it before, Hao's scream and terrified expression made Tuan jump in fright. As for Mrs. Hao, she was also startled by Hao when just a simple question from her caused her son to look as if he had lost his soul. "It's me, your mother." "Why are you so scared, son? You know it's your mother." Hao went limp, grumbling. "You appeared like a ghost and even patted my shoulder. You almost scared. He had a heart attack and died." Mrs. Hao heard. "Oh, you two little brats, I just came out to check if the dishes and bowls were cleaned up for you, and you talk to me like that, sitting there sharing ghost stories, then getting scared and shrinking back. Isn't that right? It's really funny. You guys are scared but still love being curious. It's late. Go to bed. Tuan still has to go to work tomorrow. Sitting there talking about ghosts and stuff, you'll just end up startling yourselves." But hearing Mrs. Hao scold Hao, even the spirits found it funny. Hao's family, although not wealthy, wasn't struggling either compared to most of the villagers. They were better off than many households, because he and Hao's dad is a sailor on a vessel. Mr. Hin was drifting at sea when I only come home once a year. Salary, quite okay. So Hao's mother and children just stay at home, do nothing. Hao Bang, Tuan's age, if Hao were a good student, then should also be given a proper education. Unfortunately, he was already grown up. So from a young age, Tuan and Hao had been close friends, going everywhere as one. When Tuan went out at night to hunt frogs, Hao insisted on tagging along, even though he was very afraid of ghosts. Sometimes, listening to Hao talk, he sounded just like Mrs. Hao. Hao said that in his family, everyone's name started with the letter H, his father, Hien, mother Hao, and son Hao. Originally, if they had another child, and it was a boy, they planned to name him Hung, to complete the Hin Hao Hao Hung, who, unexpectedly, they had a daughter. So instead of Hung, they changed the name to Nguyen. Mr. Hien, Hao's father, was an extremely gentle man, just like his name suggested, the name his mother gave him at birth. From a young age, knew that Tuan and Hao were close friends, so he went away for work and had a chance to come home. Mr. Hin would always bring gifts for Tuan, a set of clothes or some candy or cake. In general, everyone in Hao's family was kind and good-hearted, because they were gentle and generous. That's why Hao didn't think much of it when he heard the news about Nhut had died out in the cemetery. Hao ran at full speed to Tuan's house to inform him. He was also worried that the villagers might find out that Tuan had snuck out to the cemetery to hunt frogs. Because of that, when Hao was lying sick in bed, Tuan cannot do anything. "Let me carry that for you, uncle. I'll wash it too. For you, just go to sleep," Tuan said as he stood up to carry the tray of dishes out to wash. Mrs. Hao immediately replied, "It's late, just leave it. I'll take care of it tomorrow." Hao quietly swept across the porch, where earlier some food had been spilled. The atmosphere suddenly became strangely quiet. A moment ago, there were sounds of insects, dragonflies buzzing, everything. The room had fallen completely silent. The screech of a barn owl rang out again, but it echoed from somewhere far away, not from around Mrs. Hao's house. Tuan went back inside. Mrs. Hao clicked her tongue and said, "Even if it sounds like it's coming from Mrs. Van's place, I'm worried our village is about to have another death. So many things have happened in just 2 days. Just 2 days." How immediately asked, Mom, yesterday at the cemetery I heard people say Uncle Toy, her husband. If it's like when that Nhut guy died under that, like the shy guy died under the grave, will that grave be used for another burial later? Everyone's been gossiping and they're really scared. Mom, Mrs. Howe let out a sigh. Yeah, Mr. Toy is seriously ill. It seems like it's cancer. Or something. There's no cure. Now he's just lying there waiting to die. See? Speaking of which, it reminds me that people keep saying to go visit, but still haven't managed to. Tomorrow you have to remind me we'll go to Mr. Nam's house to light some incense. After that we'll visit Mr. Toy to check on his illness. It's probably the last meeting Uncle Toy with your father. Yes. Used to be close, you know. Howe immediately nodded. Yes, Mom, I'll remember. All right, then tomorrow you should also go with your mother. Than had a hard day today and you didn't help. You didn't light an incense stick. How can you show your face to anyone? In front of everyone. Mom, go to bed. I'll close the door for you. Now we'll get clothes, wash up, sleep. Mrs. Howe immediately said without hesitation. Hey, it's late. Wash up quickly or you'll catch a cold. It's so cold. You go to bed first. Howe went to get clothes for Tuan. The weather was at the end of August, so it was quite chilly. Their bodies were both dirty and smelly. Tuan rushed out to the water tank to scoop water and quickly rinse off. Hurry up to keep warm. You dirty shadow. On the side of the house to shine some light in their direction. At the water tank, he brought clothes for Tuan. Just to be sure, he also carried the torch to light the way. Howe then reminded him, Here's your towel and clothes. I left them on the tank lid. Need me to scrub your back? Tuan immediately replied, Yes, give my back a good scrub. I'm sure there's a whole layer of grime coming off. Howe placed flashlight on tank lid, started scrubbing Tuan's back. Honestly, wherever he scrubbed, the grime peeled off like potatoes there. Just strange. Howe grumbled, Man, this is nasty. You're seriously filthy. I bet you won't be able to sleep without a bath. Tuan laughed and replied, Yeah, I spent the whole afternoon helping out everyone dig graves for Mr. Nam and his son. And after that I rushed to Phuong Bai village. While he was talking, Tuan a little more about his experiences, saw Howe stop and use his hand to wipe, as if brushing away something, doing something. Howe then squinted his eyes at Tuan's back. Then Howe asked, Hey, there's a reddish mark on your back. I tried rubbing it, but it wouldn't come off. It looks like a scratch. Tuan immediately shook his head. A scratch? I have no idea. Howe pointed at spot where the small round red mark was right back. Then immediately replied, It is a small round spot, size of a chopstick tip probably. Doesn't hurt. If it did, you'd cry out when I scrubbed. Then you have to shout. Oh well, probably. Press on something, it will heal. Okay, water. Hurry up, dry off and get dressed. Sick. Out there now. Can't see anything. Young man. Tuan also clicked his tongue and let it go. Forget the clothes. Then ran into the house. After a long tiring day, having eaten well and taken a clean shower, they carefully locked all the doors. The two young men climbed into bed, net and resting. They drifted off to sleep without even realizing it. It was different from night before at Mr. Ka's house. Tonight Tuan slept very soundly, without any dreams or strange phenomena at all. Howe was the same. In the morning, he intended to ask Tuan about it, but after just a few words, Howe started yawning non-stop and soon was snoring away. An evening passed peacefully for both young men from Phuong Bai village. Kevin would like to thank all the audience for their attention and for tuning in. Farewell to everyone and to Dean Shadow. See you all again in the upcoming next episode of True Ghost Stories.